Thank you so much for Hazy Sea Live. Jazz Club in Portland, Oregon. And this is my buddy John Lakey on the acoustic bass over here. Yay, yay, applause, yay, yay, yay. This is one of the world's greatest jazz pianists moonlighting on drums tonight, George Colligan. George Colligan on the drums, yay, yay, woo. My name's Rob Sheps. I have no chops. We haven't played in a long time. That was Joe Henderson's Serenity. We're gonna go ahead with some Sonny Rollins. Sonny turned 90, I guess last month, so a month and a half ago, so happy birthday, Sonny. Unbelievable. Yes, I'm sorry, guys. I guess I was supposed to use this talk mic, right? And anything happen? Yeah, can you make it a little? Anyway, hi everybody. Sorry if you couldn't hear us before. Obviously, Sonny Rollins, Aerogen. Happy birthday, Sonny. Thank you all for tuning in and checking it out. This is there's live jazz every Monday right now. This is a series from the 1905, so continue to check it out. Here's some Benny Golson, who's also over 90 and still cooking. Benny Golson. Right?
Right on it?
Yeah.
All right, you are listening to live jazz music from the 1905 featuring Rob Sheps and his incredible trio. As prior mentioned, please donate any and all amount that you can into one of the two available digital tip jars before you. These musicians are working for your tips, and we greatly appreciate it. It can help us all do more of what we're doing for you now. And if you happen to donate $20 or more, you will automatically be entered in to win a $100 gift card to the 1905's Delicious Pizza Kitchen, which I highly recommend.
Just really quickly, we're going to play a ballad, but we'd like to dedicate this to all of the great musicians that we've lost due to COVID or some other shit this year, in this atrocious year. So we're going to dedicate this to Henry Grimes, Lee Konitz, Wallace Roney, Jimmy Merritt, yeah, all these cats. So we miss them, but their music's always going to be here. This is Antonio Carlos Jobim's Gingy.
Crisis. Something from Anything Goes.
No, man.
What is that? Something doing it with some doll, right? No.
I
Guys
don't
and
know.
dolls.
Like most of my fellow horn players out there, after 7 months, my chops definitely need a break after playing even that much. So again, you're listening to Jon Lakey on the acoustic bass here in Portland, Oregon. Yay, clap, cheer. You're listening to George Colligan on the drums. Woohoo, compliments. Awed silence. Rob Sheps on tenor saxophone, and like I used to. No, where's the cymbal? It's not Jewish enough. Like I used to say on gigs, I played with Sam Rivers and Joan Rivers. Thank you very much. No, it's true. Anyway, that was Gingy. I guess maybe we'll read some of the comments. Do you want to scroll back to the top, Nathaniel?
Yeah.
Let us see, or maybe you can guide us through them a
It
little
looks
bit.
like right out of the gate, David Thomas says Tom Williams, Alex Pope Norris. I don't know if that's a
Alex
elaborate
Pope
pun.
Norris is one of the greatest jazz trumpet players in the world, and an even older friend of George's than he is of mine.
Pope.
The Pope. All hail the Pope. Thank you for condoning gay marriage, Alex. We appreciate that.
Machado Majiga says, swinging like George of the Jungle, watch out for that tree.
I couldn't hear you, sorry.
Machado says, you're swinging like George of the Jungle, watch out for that tree.
I'm not old enough for that cartoon, and John is really not old enough for that cartoon.
Reference went over the whole band's head. Thunderous applause from Brian Myers. That's
Brian Myers,
welcome.
Great saxophone player in Vancouver, Washington. I'm playing his horn. Thank you, Brian.
Also some shouts out from John Tendy, Gary McCory.
John Tendy, really fine saxophone player also. Who after that?
Gary McCory.
Oh, Gary McCoury played baritone sax when we played together, subbing in the band Sax Life in the Catskills. Hi,
Yeah.
Gary. Yeah?
No negative reviews so far. Somebody's
Who
giving some
gives a shit? I don't care.
giving
I
some
don't
love
care
for a
anymore.
long
What's it
name
going to
Betty.
do to
Yeah.
us? Who cares? What are they going to do? Cancel our tour?
Oh yeah, do you want me to
Who
read
gives
the
a
bad
shit?
ones too?
No one gives a shit. Okay, keep going. Next. Can you just speak a little slower, Nat?
Rob, Killing, great band. What I love best about your playing is that you have the freedom and ability to take the horn out of your mouth instead of just going on and on. Much respect to you and the Cats.
That's Randy Andos from Sherman, Connecticut, who is a great tuba and trombone player. He used to play with They Might Be Giants. We used to do club dates together in New York. And Randy is one of the many people who's used to making a lot of money on Broadway. And I feel for you guys right now. It really sucks.
Ooh.
No Broadway till next May. Thank you, Randy. That's really nice.
Rich Favreau is digging the KC hat. Thanks for putting this together.
Pleasure. I think, Rich, I know about you. I think you're from Kansas City. And, you know, if baseball was real anymore and it wasn't just about, you know, millionaires and steroids, I would say go Royals. It's all about the Kansas City Royals. Steve Bronner from Paramus, New Jersey. He's an old friend of mine, a really good guitar player. Shout out to his dad, Buzzy Bronner, who was a really fine tenor player. Thanks for watching, Steve. My lawyer and one of my close friends in Portland, Jay. Hi, Jay Shorenstein. How you doing, man? Best dinner time music. We'll try to take that as a compliment. Jim O'Connor. Oh God, my trumpet player in my group, the Rob Sheps Quartet at Smallsden in New York City, and one of my oldest colleagues in music going back to like teen years. He says, "George, guys and dolls!" Exclamation point. So that's what the quote was. Yes, Jim. When you meet a gal, da, 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 da. That's right. Anybody else? Is that
Is
it?
it a Broadway reference?
Yeah.
Oh,
No, I mean
yeah.
that's those are the comments for now. Is there anything I'm
Yeah,
not
that's
seeing?
it. I thought you were asking if I got the reference.
So hey everybody, we love you all. I guess we're gonna play a little more. We're gonna play, you know, another great that we lost this year, and it was like March 6th, so it was actually not from COVID, and it was right before COVID. But this one hit me really hard. I'm sure on this one occasion I can speak for George Colligan. Losing McCoy Tyner is just enormous. So we're gonna play something from one of his great records called The Real McCoy, and this is Contemplation. So we hope you dig this. contemplation. You know, I'm sure we were kind of thinking about Joe Henderson during that. Brian and Tiffany, they want me to tell the whale joke, but I'm going to wait a little bit. Machado says he would like a tribute to Sean Connery. Well, sorry, Machado, I appreciate that. We don't really have anything prepared. Sean just passed, but for if it's worth anything, George and I were talking about Raiders of the Lost Ark in the courtyard an hour ago. So, you know, that happened. Alex Harding, one of my favorite people and baritone saxophonist, seems to be enjoying it from Detroit. Thank you, brother. Thank you, Alex. Joe Stobanow, my friend who plays French horn, is a pilot and also wrote method books on how to play the banjo and the harmonica. Joe Stobanow in the Reading, Pennsylvania area. Hi, Joe. I hope you guys fixed the roof on your house, man. That was some awful shit. All right, should I tell the whale joke or not?
Why not?
How old are your kids now, George?
5 and 10.
He says 5 and 10. A 14-year-old in Seattle told me this joke. I expect to get good material from 4-year-olds and then from adults, but not from anybody in between. But the 14-year-old killed it. So here goes. Here's the whale joke. 2 whales walk into a bar. They sit down at 2 adjacent bar stools, and the first whale goes, and the second whale says, "Shut up, Steve, you're just drunk again." But you know, folks, how's the steak? We'll be here all year. Right, that's the whale joke. So that goes out to Tiffany Prado and Brian Myers in Portland and Vancouver, respectively. Hope you appreciated it. Oh, and now Machado he's bringing out the big guns. This cat, I don't know who he is, man, but he wants us to play "Toy Tune" by Wayne Shorter.
No,
Nobody knows that tune. We can, you know what? We will play some Wayne Shorter, but we can't play "Toy Tune." However, "Toy Tune" is called that because it has an 8-bar A section and only a little inky-dinky 4-bar bridge. Hence the title "Toy Tune" from the great Wayne Shorter album, Etc., with Herbie Hancock, Joe Chambers, and Cecil McBee from approximately 1967. Don't go on Wikipedia and tell me I'm wrong. It doesn't really matter. Wayne Shorter, Etc. But yeah, we'll play some Wayne. We'll find something. In the meantime, what was that on the list? Well, you know, when you have the classic, so in jazz, this is kind of a classic instrumentation, tenor trio. The things that come to mind are Sonny Rollins live at the Vanguard and Way Out West. Elvin Jones's first trio on his own when he left Coltrane with Joe Farrell and Jimmy Garrison. You know, Steve Grossman, the record Way Out East with Joe Chambers and I believe Junie Booth, who was on Enlightenment with McCoy Tyner. All these trios, there's a real history and a repertoire and a gauntlet kind of thrown down to play tenor, bass, and drums. And so we're gonna really hurt ourselves here and play the kind of most amazing tenor trio thing that's ever been recorded. 1961, John Coltrane's "Chasing the Train" with Elvin Jones on drums, and I'd like to correct those who think it's Jimmy Garrison. It was Reggie Workman on bass. "Chasing the Train." Okay, so we're just swing right down the pipe. But the chorus are 2 up front. Just walk before I play. Okay, 2 chords. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, sounding great. You are listening to Jazz Live from the 1905 on Mondays, featuring Rob Sheps and his glorious trio. Please donate any and all monies you can so these fine musicians can help making the Magic musical notes more. And any donation of $20 or more, you will automatically be entered in to win a $100 gift certificate from the 1905's Fantastic Pizza Kitchen.
I would do it because the pizza is killing. And you can definitely eat $100 worth of that pizza. Right?
I have.
You have, Nat?
Easily.
Well, you don't mind if I call you Nat, do you?
I love it.
Okay. We have Nathaniel and Kyle here in-house doing sound and video, and so thanks to them, and thanks to Moses and Greg and everybody who's running this series. We have a couple more comments. Who is this Machado cat, man? He wants us to play Dance Cadaverous by
He plays
Wayne.
tenor and drums.
Oh, okay. All right. So, hi, Machado. Nobody plays Dance Cadaverous, not even Wayne Shorter. So, sorry, that's not going to happen. Anne McLaughlin, great oboe player, a great smile. She's up in Canada. We went to New England Conservatory together. She wants to hear Wayne Shorter's Lester Left Town, which would be cool, but it's kind of the same tempo as the last one. And I don't know. Do you know it, John? I can look it up. Okay, we might get to that. Luciana is out there listening, so hope she's enjoying it too. She says can't hear you anymore. I don't know. That must be your computer, dear. Maybe that's the problem. Matt Tabor says, does Rob live in KC now? The answer is none of your business. Matt says we played together last time I was there. Yes, I'm there right now, Matt. While I'm here, beautiful pianist, one of the only 3 women in history to play with the Woody Herman Orchestra while Woody was alive. My buddy in New York City, Janice Friedman, who does a Wednesday night, I think, broadcast over the internet, maybe from Facebook, singing and playing piano. And she says, "Hey, sweetie, that's nice." Hi, Janice. I also saw a couple people that I rolled. Can you roll back like to the top? I think there are a couple people we missed who were checking in. One of them is Ken Levinsky. Kenny Levinsky is a great pianist who actually helped a lot of us get through the first atrocious months of this pandemic by playing a piano bar in his house in New Jersey at about 5 or 6 o'clock p.m. every day, really for months. And he just moved to Florida. Kenny, I don't know why the hell you did that, except that's what old Jews do. So that must be why you did it. But anyway, Kenny is a wonderful piano player. We played on the national tour of Cats together. We had a real good time in Detroit and Oklahoma and some other places. And so nice to hear from you, Kenny. Danny Spitzer, I know he likes to go by Dan or Daniel now. Dan Spitzer was in the McDonald's Tri-State Jazz Ensemble with myself and Jim O'Connor in the year 1066. That's the famous year, right? But what people don't know is he's a really fine, or was really fine, alto and curved soprano jazz player. But Danny is such a heavy clarinet player that he has subbed on second clarinet in the New York Philharmonic. So shout out to the ever funny and if I need help with clarinet fingerings, I reach out to Danny Spitzer. And there's Steve Bronner says, "Yay, Kenny." That's like, New Jersey Pride or something. But we're not going to play any tunes by Snooki because this is a jazz gig. So anyway, should we continue? What's happening out there? All right. I know we get pizza when this is all over. I can't wait.
You can take a break if you want.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah. Let's just take like 2 or 3 minute, water break, bathroom break. So run your thing, whatever you do.
We're going to take a quick 5. Thank you for joining us. Please stay tuned for more of Rob Sheps and his fantastic band. And please drop some love in one of the 2 available digital tip jars before you. Thank you.
Welcome back to the Late Show. That's what you say at 7:30 when you're in Iowa. Or during a pandemic in Portland, Oregon. For those of you just joining us, we've got Jon Leakey on acoustic bass, one of the fine young bass players here in Portland, Oregon. He was actually an original member of the band Fine Young Cannibals with Rowan Gift. Amazing. He wasn't alive in 1989, but yet he was in the band. On the drums, my dear friend and one of the greatest musicians I know, that's George Colligan back there, everybody. Woo, woo, make some noise. Congratulations, explodes on your iPhone. Rob Sheps on tenor saxophone. I have not played the tenor since March. I'm just warning you, that's why the shit is a little rusty. But anyway, we're here. That was Cole Porter's Dream Dancing. Kind of a great semi-standard, doesn't really get played a whole lot, but it's certainly worth it. What are we playing next, fellas? We'll play the bossa.
Sure.
Okay, we're gonna play another tune by Antonio Carlos Jobim. This one's maybe just a little more obscure than the ones you usually hear. It's called, and don't correct my Portuguese, please, O Grande Amor, like that. So I've heard Richie Perry play it, I've heard Stan Getz play it, and now we're going to try to play it.
I think I recorded it with Rich Perry.
Oh, that's right. As a matter of fact, that Rich Perry album is on Steeplechase. It has George Colligan on piano. Don't tell me. It's probably Doug Weiss on bass, and it's that guy Darren Beckett on drums. Is that right, George? Okay, so you have recorded it, George. So you should know it by now, man. You dig? Oh, look, there. By the way, on the comments here, we got Jonathan Katz, who lives in Japan as far as I know, but he's a real fine piano player who grew up on Long Island like I did. And his brother, Alan Katz, was a badass electric bass player. I remember playing his original composition, Skink. Do you remember that, Jonathan? But Jonathan says he loves Dream Dancing and our version. So thanks a lot, Jonathan. That's great. Okay, here we go with O Grande Amor. O Grande Amor. Thank you, George. By Jobim. I see we're being listened to by Rob Thomas, not the dude who sang with Santana. Portland Rob Thomas, our Rob Thomas, right? Played violin for many years with the Jazz Passengers, with Roy Nathanson and Curtis Folks, and also a really fine bass player. He and I used to play in the New York City subways together with Sun Ra guitarist Bruce Edwards. So thanks for listening. Rob says, hey, PDX Cats, thanks for making my night. George, great to hear you on drums. So that's one. One guy. Steve Bolton, one of my oldest friends from Nassakeg Elementary School Jazz Band, says, soprano is great, but nice to hear you back on tenor. Well, I appreciate that, Steve. The tenor's going back in the closet for another year, but I pulled it out tonight. It's like the 8th night of Hanukkah. My lovely friend, the beautiful Sue Pfeffer Necrutman from Long Island, used to play a Selmer trumpet in our high school jazz ensemble. Did you even know there were Selmer trumpets?
Vaguely.
I'm not gonna, she has this weird nickname for me that's kind of more personal, you know. Yeah, maybe you can take that off of there. Anyway, hi Susan, nice to see you. Can you roll back a little bit? Nathaniel, we might have missed a few people, I don't know. You can't roll back? And there's Jay Shorenstein again. He says, yes, relieving the pre-election anxiety. Vote blue, everybody. Fuck Donald Trump. He's a horrible person. He's a rapist. He raped a 13-year-old girl. This is the truth. Look it up. He raped 22 other women. He's a liar. He's a traitor. He's a real piece of shit. If you vote for him, there's something mentally wrong with you. And I don't care what you think, because this is like not voting for Adolf Hitler. It's duly important. It needs to be said. This is the crucial time in American history. Please, whether you dig them or not, your only choice is Biden-Harris. I'm begging you, get out and vote. Take your 18-year-old to vote. Take your grandma with no legs to vote. Take everybody to vote. Let's hope to God it's Biden-Harris tomorrow. I don't give a shit. I'm saying it. Thank you very much. Okay. Yeah, so we all have pre-election anxiety, but actually playing with these two, playing with John and George, it reminds me what it was like when we played in clubs and when we were kind of working every week. Well, John works every week, but goddamn bass players, even through a pandemic, they do that. You, Ross Garlow, all these guys, yeah, I'm working every night. You know, well, you know, this is when I don't care enough to send the very best. Bass players could work on Uranus during a nuclear winter. There'd always be gigs. But anyway, so again, my colleagues are George Colligan on drums tonight, taking vacation from the piano. My good friend John Lakey on the acoustic bass. We like to play in quartets together here in Portland when we can. My name's Rob Sheps, and we're just playing some jazz for you, and maybe Nathaniel's going to talk to you for a minute before we play the next song.
That's right. These guys are working hard, and if you appreciate what they're doing, please drop some money in one of the 2 available tip jars on your screen. PayPal or Venmo, we will take any and all. And if you donate $20 or more, you will be automatically entered to win a potential $100 gift card towards any item you choose from the 1905's Fantastic Pizza Kitchen.
Let me just give a quick shout out to the 1905 and one of the fellows who runs the place, our friend Aaron Barnes, who's a saxophonist himself. The 1905 stepped into a Portland vacuum when we had this horrible thing. I wasn't here most of the time that year, but all the clubs closed at the same time, right, George? Mm-hmm. The Blue Monk on Belmont. I never went to the T-Zone Camellia Lounge downtown, but that closed. And I don't even remember what else there was, but what was that? Jiveries, yeah, Jiveries in the Pearl District. Ivories, they closed. So I forgot who called it Jiveries, but I did hear that they had some problems. I really want to say what they are, but I'm not going to say them. So all the clubs in Portland closed at one time. It feels like about 4 or 5 years ago. And I remember looking at the listings in the Oregonian and the Willamette Week from, that's how you know people are imposters, if they say Willamette wrong, if they're not from Oregon. Did you do that? You've been here long enough, man. You should know better.
When I first got here.
Yeah, no, that's different. You know now, right? Willamette Week. And I remember seeing this place in 1905 and starting to see that all of our colleagues were playing there. And I just want to thank, on behalf of the 3 of us, the 1905 for being the first and probably hippest jazz venue in Portland to fill that void when all of our venues closed pre-COVID. So hope you guys support the 1905. The pizza really is pretty killer from Brick Oven in there. And normally there's beer and all kinds of cocktails, and they have a nice patio where no cannabis smoking is allowed, in spite of what you would think. And anyway, and there's Mario DePriest, a great jazz singer and actor with whom I got to work a number of years ago here in Portland. We worked with his dad, the late Akbar DePriest. We worked with a great older bass player, Frank Della Rosa, who kind of retired in the Portland area. We worked with Javon Jackson. We made a record. Mario's record was on the V Ruth label, and it was called First Things First. Is that right? I think that's right. Okay, we're going to play something now that I got turned on to hearing Dexter Gordon play it when I was a kid, and I still like to try to replicate the Dexter arrangement because it's so hip. So this is, God, correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's Sammy Kahn's standard. This is called It's You or No One. A la Dexter. Get all Scottish, That's It's You or No One, and that last phrase I played at the end, that's because our friend Jay Shorenstein said, I forgot November 2nd is Phil Woods' birthday, so I just played a little tiny bit of Song for Sisyphus, which is the title cut of one of Phil's greatest records. Laurel Hood, the former mayor of Cannon Beach, Oregon. She had a black baseball hat like this that said Mayor on it. Laurel Hood, hi honey, how are you? Nice to see you. Mario Dupree says, music to my ears. That's very nice. Laurel says she thinks I need a cup of coffee. No, I don't. Anyway, once again, the people you're listening to tonight, we're all colleagues. We all play together a lot, but never exactly in this trio. John Lakey on the acoustic bass. Okay, now space for noise. On the drums, the vociferously talented George Colligan. George Colligan. It sounds like the Uncle Floyd show. Do you remember that? It's pretty out there. Check it out later. My name's Rob Sheps, and I've worked with Cecil Taylor and Linda Ronstadt. Thank you. That's all true. Jonathan Katz. John Katz says, It's You or No One with 17 question marks. Thought it was Daydream Believer. That's right. There was a quote from Daydream Believer by the Monkees in the middle of that tune. And Kenny Levinsky, if you didn't catch that, we're going to fine you. $25 fine. Man, it's hard to keep your chops going. What do you got?
Here's some medium.
Yeah. Like what? I don't know. Call something.
Monk 2.
Nah. Well, do you know Aaron? You get through that one? Just say no. I can see it in your eyelids. Yeah, that's right.
What about Monk Stream?
I can't do anything with it. What
Okay.
else you got? See, we planned a little bit. We planned everything we played before, but yeah, We See would be all right. You play that one? Okay. We See, which I got to play with my old friend Daryl Grant the other night out in Lake Oswego with Tyson Stubelik on drums and Eric Gruber on bass, and I hadn't played with Daryl in many years. We see each other once in a while, but a really great pianist, not just one of the heads of jazz at Portland State University. Daryl used to play with Betty Carter. He played with Tony Williams' band. And at any rate, I remember playing this next song with him at the Persimmon Country Club in Gresham, Oregon. Do you remember that, Daryl Grant? We See, Thelonious Monk, Thelonious Sphere Monks, We See. Oh, before we start, it's little Stevie Wonder. Etienne Lytle, he says, yo, fam. Etienne Lytle and I, he's a great jazz pianist and soul and funk, all kinds of styles now. But when we were kids, he played alto saxophone, and we went to a summer day camp on Long Island. I'm not going to out it by saying the name of it. And I guess I thought Etienne looked an awful lot like Little Stevie Wonder, because that's what we called him, Little Stevie Wonder. So do you remember that, Etienne? So nice to see you. Last time I saw you, we were playing with Marvin Boogaloo Smith and Kim Clark at St. Nick's Pub in Harlem, which is gone now, but it was there for about 80 years. Charlie Parker used to play there. And there was something else I wanted to say about that. Oh, that was the day Michael Jackson died, whenever that was. I remember that. We were in Harlem. Etienne says, I'm bringing it back, brother. Okay, little Stevie Wonder always. And Jay and Laurel are getting together and saying hi on here. Okay, cats, we're gonna proceed with something a little mellower. Here we go.
We See?
We'll play the kind of two feel on that.
Sure.
B-flat, right? One. Let me start again. That was, oh man, this Van Doren reeds will get you every time. I didn't want to play a Van Doren. This is not an endorsement for Van Doren. One, two, End on the tonic. So that was a semblance of Thelonious Monk's We See. We have some more comments. Rob Thomas from Portland and New York is still watching. He says, something in the water in Portland, yet another highly skilled and conceptually advanced bass player. Yes, I've heard George play the bass. He sounds pretty good when he does. No. That's John Lakey over there on the bass. Mario DePriest is still listening. Mark Hutchinson, great tenor player here in Portland that I taught when he was a mere amoeba before he went to PSU. He says, what a band, great playing, everybody. Thank you, Mark. Ass pants. Rob Thomas says, Rudy Tooty, he's all excited. Raymond McMorrin says, beautiful, very refreshing. Thank you, Raymond. Thanks for listening, everybody. Over to you, Nathaniel, for a minute.
That's right. And if you have not yet done so, please throw some digital dollars towards these gentlemen. They are making some wonderful music for you. And you can do so on one of the 2 available tip portals on the screen before you. And once again, $20 or more you will automatically be entered into a raffle to win a potential $100 gift certificate to the 1905. You can come and pick up their pizza curbside, and it is exceedingly delicious. So thanks again for tuning in.
I think we're going to play one more. Is that about what we have time for?
That sounds good.
Okay. Once again, everybody, tonight, George Colligan is at the drums. You can't tell with the mask. It could be anybody back there, but it's George Colligan. And on the acoustic bass, like Rob Thomas says, really fine young player. I enjoy playing with him whenever I'm in Portland. John Lakey. Yeah, John, you got it. My name's Rob Sheps. I'd like to just shout out really quick to everybody here doing audio and video production tonight. Kyle, Nathaniel, Moses, Greg. Thanks everybody for doing this series. John Doyle, John wrote, John is listening. Okay.
John Doyle, I'll tell you who John Doyle
Who's
is.
John Doyle, George?
John Doyle, I'll tell you later.
Tell me later. Okay. Jared Coyle, a saxophone player from like Arcata, California, who drove up here years ago to take like 3 lessons with me. Thank you, Jared. He says it sounds great. He's enjoying it. What are we playing?
Maybe rhythm change? What tune?
Yeah, do you remember that?
What tune?
Eternal Triangle.
Okay.
Okay, give me 8 bars of Max Roach. Oh, wait. That's it for us. Thank you, everybody, watching live stream from the 1905 in Portland, Oregon. John Lakey on acoustic bass. George Colligan at the drums and cymbals. Yours truly, Rob Sheps on tenor saxophone. And our crew here, last quotes. Andy Plymill from Tri-Cities, Washington says, awesome. Okay, Andy, I'm glad you're digging it. And Rob Thomas is identifying the monk quotes. So you get a gold star in the middle of your forehead. Brian says, thanks. We say thanks. Thanks, everybody. Try to keep the music going during this this pandemic debacle. Good night. Everybody be safe. And wear your goddamn mask. Thank you. Good night.